So when did you first realize something was happening?
Well, this was a little bit after 11:30ish. A friend of mine actually woke me up out of a nap. He comes over. I steps outside with him for like 3 to 5 minutes. After that, I comes in, say something to my fiance in the kitchen. Then I goes into the bedroom. Within the 2 minutes in the bedroom, I hear an altercation outside. And
what did you hear?
Just some heavy struggle, you know, like a strong voice, like a strong voice. I'm not sure, you know, what words exchange exactly, but just a strong voice.
So what'd you do then?
Actually, so when I heard the altercation, I looks out the window and I see somebody at Ferguson police window, some kind of tussle going on here. So,
So you saw somebody at the window of the police car?
Yes.
The police officer was still in the vehicle?
Yeah, inside the vehicle. So, like I said, it was some kind of tussle going on. He also had a friend also. He runs on the side of the car because all of a sudden they just takes off running. After the tussle,
right?
They just takes off running.
Now, did you know Mike Brown?
No.
Okay.
No, I seen him. I seen him, you know, around or whatever. So.
But it was Mike Brown at the vehicle.
Yes.
And you said there was a tussle. Was there? How long did it go on for that you saw?
Seconds. 10 seconds, I should say. So.
Did you see?
I didn't.
What the tussle was around? Did you see was one person being pulled in or pulled out?
Oh no, it was just exactly at the window. I mean, it may look like he was trying to get away or something.
You couldn't tell exactly what was going on.
Yeah, but you know, I just seen some kind of tussle going through the window.
Okay.
So, but like I said, he has a friend also, and he was standing like in the front of the police cruiser on the bumper side, on the passenger side, but like 5 feet away from it though. And like I said, all of a sudden they just take off running. Mr. Brown, he just runs directly down in the middle of the street, and his friend, it was a car that was parked on the sidewalk. The Ferguson cop, his vehicle was in the middle of the street, diagonal. So like I said, they take off running.
Had there been a shot when there was still that tussle in the police car?
I didn't hear the shot. Okay. I didn't hear the shot. Quite a few people that was around said they heard a shot go off in the car. Maybe. But
the important thing is what you heard. You did not hear it.
Right. So I definitely didn't hear that. Okay. So like I said, his friend takes off running, and like I said, the parked car was on the sidewalk, and like I said, it was probably like 5 feet away from the police cruiser in the middle of the street. So like I said, they just takes off running, and I see the officer gets out of his car, emerge, and just immediately starts shooting. So let me see.
You saying he immediately started shooting? You're saying he didn't say anything? He didn't?
Like I said, I didn't hear because everything. I'm still in the window.
Okay.
I'm still in the window. So when he gets out the car, I see the first shot as Mr. Brown. Like I said, he directly in the middle of the street, running with his back turned, running away, and he's probably about 20 feet down. And his other friend, he's around the car on the trunk side of it. So I see him, you know, looking up at the cop just to see where he's at. But when he gets out the car, he lets out like 1 or 2 shots. But at that time, he's already past his own police vehicle. And Mr. Brown's friend, where he ran to, as he was in his gun shooting range, you know, position, he walked past the vehicle to where his friend ran to. So I think that the officer knew where his friend is. So, but I'm just saying that it showed me that he wasn't shooting at his friend.
Did you see? You said there were 1 or 2 shots. You think?
Yeah, the very first one.
The first
one when he gets out.
Did you see if Mike Brown was hit by any of those shots?
No, I don't think he made it was at the time because, like I said, he was 25 feet down, so obviously he was still running.
Right, because we don't know. The autopsy said that there were at least 6 shots that hit Mike Brown, but we don't know how many shots may have been fired, if there were other shots that were fired, if other bullet casings have been collected. We don't know.
Right.
So you said you heard 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I definitely seen 1 or 2, but like I said, he still have his back turned, and I noticed that he passed his friend up to where his friend ran to. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna run outside with my phone and see what I could get. So I runs outside so quick. About the time I gets outside, he's already turned around, facing the officer. He's balled up. He have his arms like under his stomach, and he was like halfway down, like he was going down. And the officer lets out about 3 or 4 shots at him. So like I said, just like the body, I took a few pictures in the video, but how his body is on the ground, just like with his arms tucked in, that's how he got shot or whatever. But like I said, before he went down, he was already like this, and he took like 1 or 2 steps going towards the officer, and he, like I said, let go about 3 or 4 more shots at him. And
You're
that's when he
saying
hit the
it's
ground.
your impression that he was essentially falling down onto the ground or going down onto the ground, not because there is an account by a friend of the, or allegedly a friend of the officer, who said that the officer is claiming, and sources with the investigation back this up, is what the officer's claim is that Mike Brown was running toward the officer. Did you see him running toward the officer in any way?
No, not after when he was running away. No, not at all. Like I said, by the time I come outside, I'm thinking that he's now hit after I seen the officer shooting at him while he was running away. So I'm thinking that he's hit because now he's turned around now like this. Like he was going down. It didn't even look like that he was giving up. It just looked like, you know, oh, I'm hit, you know, I'm gonna go down now. That's what it looked like.
That was your impression?
Yeah.
So from what you saw, there weren't hands up or anything. The hands were around
I
the
really,
waist.
that's the thing. I didn't see no hands up. If he did, I probably just missed it from going out from my bedroom, going outside.
Right,
I
there was a
probably-
gap in what you saw because you were moving
Yeah, and
from
then
one room
and
to
on
another.
top of that, and there was also a gap from the officer pausing as he was shooting. Because like I said, I'm in the window, and he shoots a couple of times, and by the time I gets outside, he's shooting again. So I really didn't hear a shot between a running. He probably did, you know, maybe.
You don't know that for a fact.
Yeah.
This entire thing about how quickly from the time you first heard what sounded like a tussle and started seeing that tussle to the time Mike Brown was down on the ground, how long do you think?
It was, how should I say? I would definitely say it was some seconds, not even a minute.
It all was quick.
Yeah, it was just quick. It was quick, definitely quick. Probably, within 30 seconds, 40 seconds maybe.